When we discuss football legends, few names command as much universal awe and respect as Lionel Messi. His brilliance transcends club loyalties, national boundaries, and even generations of fans. Throughout his career, Messi has been a symbol of artistry, precision, and relentless excellence on the football pitch. However, when we narrow our focus to the golden years of his career, commonly referred to as his prime, the magnitude of his danger as an attacking force becomes something almost surreal. Between roughly 2009 and 2015, Messi wasn't merely outperforming other footballers, he was operating at a level that seemed to defy the sport's established limits. In this video, we'll take an in-depth journey through Messi's prime years, examining his numbers, his unique skill set, his psychological impact on opponents, and the legacy he forged during those unforgettable seasons. Defining Messi's prime year. Lionel Messi's prime is a period so rich in brilliance that pinpointing an exact start and end can be subjective. Yet, most analysts and fans converge on a window between 2009 and 2015 as the era when Messi was at the absolute zenith of his powers. The foundation of this period was laid in the 2008-09 season, coinciding with the arrival of Pep Guardiola as Barcelona's head coach. Guardiola shifted Messi from his traditional role on the right wing into a more central and fluid position, something that would unlock levels of productivity rarely seen in football. That season, Messi scored 38 goals and propelled Barcelona to an historic treble: La Liga, Copa del Rey, and UEFA Champions League. But that was just the beginning. Over the following seasons, Messi elevated his game year after year. His 2011-12 season became folklore as he scored a staggering 91 goals in a single calendar year, an achievement that obliterated long-standing records and etched his name deeper into football's pantheon. Later, under Luis Enrique in 2014-15, Messi reinvented himself again, integrating seamlessly with Neymar and Luis Suárez to form the iconic MSN trio. That year, Barcelona secured another treble, and Messi demonstrated that his excellence wasn't tied to any one tactical system, he was a system unto himself. Statistical madness. While football purists often argue that statistics cannot capture the beauty of the game, when it comes to Messi's prime, the numbers alone are enough to inspire disbelief. In the era spanning 2008 to 2015, Lionel Messi produced output that looked more like a cheat code from a football video game than the record of a human being. In the 2009-10 season, Messi scored 47 goals across all competitions. He then followed it up with 53 goals in 2010-11 and a mind-melting 73 goals in 2011-12, a figure that remains the highest ever recorded in a single European club season. What makes these statistics even more staggering is the consistency with which he maintained these astronomical numbers. Even in seasons where injuries or tactical shifts slightly reduced his tally, Messi routinely finished with 60+ goal contributions, goals, assists. His ability to score from virtually any position on the pitch, whether through dribbles, long-range shots, free kicks, or one-on-one finishes, meant that defenders and goalkeepers were perpetually guessing, usually in vain. But Messi's brilliance wasn't limited to putting the ball in the back of the net. During his prime years, he also became one of the world's premier playmakers, regularly recording 15 to 25 assists per season. He orchestrated attacks with a surgeon's precision, threading passes through impossibly tight spaces and making every teammate around him exponentially better. In short, Messi wasn't just prolific, he was omnipotent in attack, skills that made him a nightmare. What separates Messi from almost every other prolific footballer in history is the way in which he scored and assisted his goals. His skill set wasn't built on brute strength or raw athleticism alone, but rather on a combination of balance, control, agility, and extraordinary spatial awareness. His dribbling ability, in particular, was unprecedented. Using short, quick touches and an almost magnetic relationship with the ball, Messi could weave through entire defenses with an elegance that bordered on poetry. He often dribbled at full speed without losing an ounce of control, a quality so rare that it left defenders flailing helplessly in his wake. Messi's acceleration and agility were equally terrifying. Over short distances of 5 to 10 meters, he could explode past even the most elite defenders, creating instant mismatches and chaos in the opposition's structure. Coupled with an almost supernatural ability to change direction without losing momentum, Messi became a one-man demolition unit against organized defenses. His football IQ, meanwhile, was perhaps the most underrated element of his danger. Messi always seemed to know exactly where to position himself, when to release the ball, and how to exploit the smallest pockets of space. While defenders were reacting, Messi was already 2 moves ahead, dismantling their formations with uncanny foresight. Psychological impact. Fear in the eyes of opponents. If Messi's skills physically overwhelmed defenders, the psychological warfare he waged was arguably even more debilitating. Opponents did not merely face a supremely talented footballer, they faced an inevitability. Over the course of Messi's prime years, countless world-class defenders entered matches with the knowledge that, no matter how disciplined or well-prepared they were, Messi would almost certainly breach their backline at some point. Defenders such as Giorgio Chiellini, Rio Ferdinand, and Philipp Lahm have spoken openly about the sense of futility in trying to contain Messi during his peak. Managers too struggled to devise effective countermeasures. Double marking Messi often left other attackers free to wreak havoc. Single marking him usually meant disaster. Teams would alter their entire tactical frameworks just to contain him, deploying deep defensive blocks, rigid man-marking schemes, and conservative pressing strategies, none of which consistently worked. This ever-present psychological pressure not only rattled defenders, but also indirectly crippled entire teams, as players became hesitant to commit forward, knowing the threat Messi posed on the counter. Big game mentality. The term big game player is often reserved for footballers who deliver decisive performances in high-stakes matches. During his prime, Lionel Messi didn't just rise to the occasion, he dominated it. In the 2009 UEFA Champions League final, Messi famously scored a rare-headed goal against Manchester United, helping Barcelona lift Europe's most coveted trophy. 2 years later, in the 2011 Champions League final, also against United, Messi produced one of the finest individual performances ever seen on such a stage, scoring a stunning long-range goal and orchestrating Barcelona's 3-1 victory with ruthless precision. Perhaps one of his most iconic displays came in the 2015 Champions League semi-final against Bayern Munich. In that game, Messi not only scored twice but also delivered one of the most humiliating dribbles in modern football history, sending world-class defender Jerome Boateng tumbling to the ground before delicately chipping goalkeeper Manuel Neuer. Performances like these reinforced the idea that Messi thrived under pressure and that the brighter the spotlight, the more devastating he became. Breaking records for fun. Throughout his prime, Messi didn't just break records, he obliterated them with an almost casual regularity. His 91 goals in the 2012 calendar year shattered Gerd Miller's long-standing record of 85 goals in a single year, a record many had believed unbreakable. In the 2011-12 La Liga season, he scored 50 league goals, setting a benchmark that remains untouched. Before his 28th birthday, Messi had already become both Barcelona's all-time leading scorer and La Liga's all-time top scorer, surpassing legends who had accumulated their tallies over decades. What's even more remarkable is that Messi achieved many of these feats while simultaneously leading the assist charts in both domestic and European competitions. Every season during his prime wasn't just productive, it was historically significant, with Messi rewriting record books at a frequency that defied comprehension. Rivalry with Cristiano Ronaldo. An exploration of Messi's prime is incomplete without acknowledging the era-defining rivalry he shared with Cristiano Ronaldo. Their simultaneous ascents created a dynamic that elevated both players to superhuman levels, while Ronaldo, with his athleticism, aerial prowess, and lethal finishing, posed a relentless challenge. Messi countered with his technical mastery, versatility, and vision. Their contrasting styles made the football world richer, and their competitive coexistence ensured that neither could afford to rest on their laurels. Messi, however, often had the edge in terms of all-around play. While Ronaldo's primary strength was goal-scoring, Messi contributed just as many goals while also serving as his team's principal playmaker and dribbler. His ability to orchestrate an entire game, in addition to delivering decisive moments, often tilted discussions in his favor. Fans, journalists, and players were privileged to witness not just one but two of football's greatest icons at the same time, with Messi frequently producing moments that appeared effortless compared to Ronaldo's forceful brilliance. What makes Messi's prime even more astonishing is the fluidity with which he evolved across different tactical roles, systems, and coaches. In the early years of his prime, 2008-2012, Messi played predominantly as a right winger, cutting inside onto his stronger left foot and devastating defenses with his dribbles and finishes. Under Guardiola, he was repositioned as a false nine, centralizing his influence and turning him into the conductor of Barcelona's tiki-taka orchestra. Later, under Luis Enrique in 2014-15, Messi drifted back towards the right wing, but took on more of a playmaker's role, using his experience and vision to dictate the tempo of attacks while letting Suárez and Neymar exploit the spaces he created. His adaptability meant that defenses could never prepare adequately. By the time they solved one version of Messi, he had evolved into something even more lethal. Influence on football. Messi's prime didn't merely impact Barcelona or Argentina. It redefined modern football itself. Coaches worldwide began seeking players with Messi-like traits, Short, agile, technically supreme attackers who could operate in tight spaces. Pep Guardiola's Barcelona, built around Messi's genius, influenced an entire generation of managers, from Joachim Löw to Jurgen Klopp, and even inspired tactical shifts at clubs like Bayern Munich and Manchester City. Messi blurred positional boundaries. He wasn't just a striker, winger, or playmaker, he was all three at once. This versatility prompted tactical evolutions across football, encouraging fluid attacking systems and positionless play long before it became trendy. His presence alone expanded the possibilities of the game. The artistry beyond numbers. While Messi's stats are otherworldly, perhaps the most indelible aspect of his prime is the sheer beauty of his play. His ability to glide past defenders, execute jaw-dropping nutmegs, deliver no-look passes, or chip goalkeepers with nonchalance turned matches into masterclasses in aesthetic football. Even rival fans, often reluctant to praise opposing players, found themselves applauding his genius. Messi's play during these years didn't just entertain, it inspired. Millions of young players tried to mimic his moves on dusty pitches and concrete streets worldwide. His humility, sportsmanship, and joy while playing added layers to his legend, reminding fans that football at its core is a beautiful game meant to be enjoyed. To answer the question, how dangerous was prime Lionel Messi actually? The truth is simple yet profound. He was, quite literally, unstoppable. A player so complete, so consistent, and so creative that he rendered even the best defenders, managers, and tactical systems helpless. His combination of goal scoring, playmaking, dribbling, and football intelligence was unparalleled. Messi at his prime was not just the best player on earth, he seemed to operate on an entirely different plane of existence. Though Messi has continued to dazzle and redefine greatness even beyond these peak years, the 2009-2015 period remains a golden chapter in football history, a time when the beautiful game witnessed its most perfect expression in the form of Lionel Messi. So that's it for today. If you like this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching.